Price's Corner, Delaware, are having trouble processing what happened last night.
On a quiet evening in early July 2018, at a house in the 2700 block of Ferris Road, in the suburban community of Price's Corner, Delaware, a family's world ended in violence and silence. What appeared outwardly as the ordinary children playing, father with his kids, a mother working to build a life, turned into one of the most heartbreaking tragedies a neighborhood could ever face. This is the story of the Edwards family: Matthew Edwards, his wife Julie Edwards, and their 3 young children, 6-year-old Jacob, 4-year-old Brinley, and 3-year-old Paxton. Matthew, age 42, and Julie, age 41, had lived at the Ferris Road home since Matthew purchased it in 2006. Neighbors recalled the children playing outdoors, the father taking them to ride scooters, and the mother deeply engaged with her kids. Julie's eldest son, Jacob, had a serious medical history. He lived with Williams syndrome, a developmental disorder, and had undergone heart surgery. Julie had become a volunteer leader with the Williams Syndrome Association. On the surface, it seemed like an involved and loving family, but like so many tragedies, there were signs that all was not entirely well. A longtime neighbor reported that on Sunday, just a day before the deaths, Matthew spoke of marital problems and work stress. He had recently lost a job and moved for work and had been living away from the home.
They were having problems, and he lost his job, and then he had to get a job in Virginia, so he was away for a couple of months.
She was the best mom. She lived for those 3 kids.
With her husband kept out of town a lot because of his job, friends say Julie focused on her kids and losing weight. In these photos, you can see her transformation after losing 82 pounds.
In the past couple months, she worked really, really hard. She was eating right. She was getting up and moving with the kids, going to the park.
But Julie would confide in her friend that her husband appeared to be jealous and left insecure about her transformation with him being out of town.
Him being away, working, and then her being here and starting to look good. I don't know. She told me he was not happy about it.
About what?
About the way she was looking.
Julie, according to friends, believed that Matthew was suffering from depression. She had urged him to seek help, but he apparently resisted. In the days leading up to the tragedy, their family posted photos of ordinary activities, church, playgrounds, dinner, and yet beyond closed doors, a tension had grew. On the evening of Monday, July 9th, 2018, calls went out to the home. At around 8 p.m., the responding officers from the Delaware State Police found a mother and 3 children unalived inside the upstairs of the home. While Matthew was found unalived from a self-inflicted gunshot wound, the incident was officially ruled a murder-suicide by gunshot. The quiet street, the home with the for sale sign in the yard, the children's scooters, all became the backdrop of a horror that neighbors struggled to comprehend. Neighbors told reporters they were stunned.
They were good people.
State police have confirmed that 42-year-old Matthew Edwards shot his 41-year-old wife, Julie, and their 3 children, 6-year-old Jacob, 4-year-old Brinley, and 3-year-old Paxton, before shooting himself.
How does this happen to 3 kids? Who does that to 3 babies?
Instagram videos show happy, bubbly children playing in the yard, but accounts from both neighbors and friends show that marital problems recently began to emerge.
"I'm just shocked. There's no way to prepare for this," one said. Another said, "I don't know what happened inside, but I know he was outside with his kids a lot." A friend of Julie said she lived for her kids. They were her world. She tried to get him to get help, but he wasn't recognizing that he needed the help. The pattern of someone who outwardly appears fine but is suffering silently is tragically common nowadays. How does a father become a murderer of his own family? What intervening steps might have prevented this? Investigators found no immediate evidence of a motive beyond stress, marital strain, job loss, and possible mental health issues. But the question remains, When someone expresses suicidal ideation or refuses help despite pleas, what systems are in place to intervene? The bodies of the Edwards family were turned over to the Delaware Division of Forensic Science. GoFundMe pages were created for funeral costs, and the neighborhood mourned. But for many, the biggest loss was what might have been a mother who worked tirelessly for her children, with special needs, children full of life, a community which in retrospect saw only the shadows, not the depth of the pain. While the timeline is short, the impact is long. The silence that followed July 9th still echoes. In the end, the story of the Edwards family is a sobering reminder. Tragedy often lives beyond closed doors. We may see a father playing with his kids, a mother volunteering, a happy household, but inside, the suffering can be invisible until it's too late. Perhaps the hardest question is this: what can each of us do when we sense someone is unraveling? In their name, let this story remind us to reach out, to listen deeply, and to assist or help when help is needed, because the cost of silence is too high. And in the case of the Edwards family, the cost was everything.